What's up, people? It's your boy, Suleiman Shade, the creator of Boogie Beast Mind Body Fitness. What is Boogie Beast? Boogie Beast is a mind-body fitness practice that uses the power of movement for the human ability to play and exercise. We focus on overall well-being as we believe true transformation begins by exercising your mind and moving your body. Today, I got my man, Easy Mental Focus. You already know. And we got a guest, Mr. JoJo, a professional beatboxer. Oh. Give us something. Give us something, bro. Give us something, man.
It feels good.
You know what?
I gotta chill, man. We can't be vibing.
I'm always jealous of like people.
You got too much talent, though. You got too much talent yourself.
If I drop a beat for you, you can dance no problem.
You can't have everything like that.
You can't be super talented. Hold on a second. Check it out.
I like to be like this brother as well, man. You know, making music, dance, walk out.
All I can do is look.
You can't get the total package out here.
Wait. I'm gonna do my beatboxing and you do yours, and then let him judge it. You ready for this shit?
I like this.
Okay, let's go.
Don't laugh.
Let's go.
I'll try not to.
I'll try. I'm not saying I can.
Don't cover your mouth.
No, cover. Okay.
Boy, you suck.
Nah, you got the rhythm. Okay. You need more volume, though.
Okay. Let's give it up. God, you gotta think about this. Is not my profession, and I'm just.
Hey man, you look bigger than me. That sounds good. I know you can lift more, so it's cool.
But yeah, what can they check you out, though, bro? What can they check you out?
Well, you can check me out SoundCloud, JoJo Bravo, easy. Bro, Instagram, JoJo Bravo, easy.
Easy.
You heard? So
life is easy, man. You know what I mean? Don't take
like
it too serious.
Exactly, man. Because ain't nobody gonna make it out anyway.
But we're not here to talk about beatboxing. We're here to talk about food.
Yeah. Exactly.
So today we're going to talk about food. So one thing I'm going to ask you guys is, what is the definition of food? Because I have my definition.
What do you think? What you think?
So to me, I think food is your daily habitual intake of physical and mental feeds. So obviously, what you think is a form of food. It's just an energy, you know what I mean, and what you consume as well. So they both, obviously, it's a kind of daily practice that you do that makes you who you are. So that's from my perspective.
That's a really nice way of.
I couldn't agree anything less than that. Yeah, bro, just drop a bomb on us.
So that's on. So basic talking about food. Anyways, like I know. Food is not just is something we do every day, but it comes from a cultural part as well, and it comes from like you know,
being brought up.
Yeah, the way you grow up as well. Yeah,
your environment also,
well,
like what you're exposed to.
One thing to add to that, like the concept of how food is brought into cultures. At home, my mom was always giving out to me. She's like, you don't eat the food that I cook for you. You'd rather order Domino's. That's because of how I've been nourished in the society that I'm living in. I chill out with my friends. All they eat is Domino's. I go home, and that food doesn't look appealing to me. Do you know what I mean? It's not because it's not because it's delicious. It's delicious, but in my life and the way I've been brought up, I'm like thinking that this food is more delicious because I've seen this every day. I'm eating it every day, and then I come at home and I'm looking at this. And I'm like, it doesn't look appealing, but you taste it and it's just as delicious.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
So you just kind of like you fall out.
I become numb to that kind of eating food. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying that I like fast food because I don't eat Burger King, I don't eat McDonald's, but I do like Domino's.
Domino's is nice. It's nice.
I can get you, man.
But the thing is, I don't really like pizza, bro. I never like pizza.
You're the first nigga I've heard say that.
I never like pizza.
I have to say,
I'm weird when it comes to some shit. I never really like pizza. I never like Coke. I don't even eat McDonald's.
I don't drink anything that's the same color as me either. I don't drink Guinness. I like Guinness. Guinness is cool.
And I mean, so but that's crazy though. But like, you don't even eat. So
no, I do. To say that I don't eat it would be wrong. I just. It's not as appealing as it once was to me.
Okay.
Do you know
kind of grew out of it?
I grew out of it, yeah. Like, I prefer to cook my own. Like, I like Italian food. I like pasta, I like lasagna, I like carbonara.
Now.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
see, this is what I'm talking about now. What this brother is doing. When they talk about when you have a certain food that you grew up with, and you kind of drop that habit, and you're trying to figure
exactly
out
what's your taste.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm trying to. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of obviously Africans, the way we were brought up is like, you gotta eat this. Some of us, we can't get out that mind state.
No, but the thing is, my mom feels insulted a little bit when I'm like don't want to eat that food. And I'm like, Mom, it's not about your food not being nice. It's just not my kind of food. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I don't like the way you cook or I don't like the way the food tastes. Or it's just that's not my kind. Because my brother, he'll go and eat. He'll eat the whole plate, no problem. But for me, it's just not my flavors. It's not like what I like to taste.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, did you grow up here or?
I grew up here.
Or
I came here when I was 3 years old.
Oh, so you know
what I'm saying?
Sense, bro.
Well, that doesn't really mean anything. It means something because when I go outside of home, I'm seeing other different food. But at home, my mom still cooks African food. Do you know what I'm saying? But being open to other things is what's changing.
We talk about African foods now. Like, what kind of foods are these? Like,
well, Congolese food.
Just the
Congolese,
main,
the basics. Like, I'm sure everybody.
We don't know if there's any Congolese watching out here.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
You know what I mean? Or maybe Nigerians or Africans.
Give us.
I'm just gonna slip in.
Give them some little.
I'm enjoying the conversation. So.
give them some little. And what
fufu.
Fufu.
Yeah, I love fufu.
Why,
I'm not even gonna lie.
When you eat fufu now, what you? I mean, how do you feel? Because we eat pounded yam.
Nutrition-wise, like I feel like it's definitely more healthier for you.
Okay.
Because the Irish thing is like chipper. Okay. People like to go to the chipper and buy like a chip baguette or a bag of chips, fish and chips,
fish and sausage and all that.
I don't like that. Like, you know what I mean? The thing is, fish. Congolese fish, I love Congolese. I like the way we cook it. I like the way, the only thing is my mom, the way she cooks it, she leaves all the bones in. So you know what I mean? You kind of have to chop the bones off. And
that's all okay.
See, the thing is, right, obviously, like, I think that there's a kind of cultural difference as well. Like, if you were brought up here or you were brought up in Africa, because for me, my mindset is like, that taste, like, is I can't compare it to anything else. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like outside, maybe like Chinese might kind of, you know.
Yeah, Chinese, man.
But that's the thing. Chinese like spice. Like that's where we connect. It's culture. We like to have
and the flavor they have
food.
in their food. I think we could connect with that, reason with that, because obviously that's how we do as well. We like spicy food. We like the chicken. The
Europeans don't really flavor their food.
You know what I mean? Like, you know. So
I might be wrong. That might be a personal opinion, but I feel like flavors is like a European. It's not big. It's not big in their standards of cooking food. They're more about like cooking it a certain way, whereas we like before we even cook it, we flavor it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we really about the flavors.
I think it's just different ways to cook things at the end of the day. But like, I get what you're saying because like Africans, we do have a special way to kind of.
But that's where the preservatives. You were speaking about preserving.
But now, like, that's true. Yeah.
When we flavor things, the flavor stays longer because we're preserving it. But in here in Europe, people don't flavor; they just cook it.
No, like when they cook chicken, like they don't really put they don't put that because
that's spice.
But because
that's soya meat.
It's all about it's like you say, it's the energy you put into that food. You know, you go to you Africans, not just Africans, it could be Chinese, some other people. When they put energy, they put time. But you go to shop. I'm not trying to say Western people now. Yeah. I'm not trying to say the word, but they don't really put that
Western
energy.
People.
They don't
white
really
people. They call you black.
Okay, cool. He said it. You know what I mean?
Let's call a spade a spade.
That's okay. That's true. That's true.
Better put a hashtag on it. Hashtag.
Actually, right. I was saying something before, right? I came up with this thing. It's called the jollof rice test. Give a black man jollof rice without meat. That shit will piss.
Well.
I had it the other day. Does anybody know that African restaurant beside Moe's? Where people go to get jollof?
I think
you know that one, yeah? So we called in. She was like, Auntie, can we have jollof rice? And she's like, what meat do you want? And then she asked the chef. The chef said, there's no beef. She's like, oh, there's only chicken. And then she asked the chef, there's no chicken. And we're like, so what can we have with it? Yeah, we don't know. What do you want? He's like, we want meat. She's like, there's no meat. She's like, okay, we can give you plantain. I'm like, jollof for plantain? Just plantain? It's not the same. It's not the same. Like. It still tastes good.
You know what?
But I think it's just
I think
that
it's down to conditions.
it's just
also.
conditioning. You just want,
Yeah,
like
I
you
mean,
said, bro.
Because at the end of the day, like, funny enough, I actually recently had a plate of jollof rice with no meat and no nothing. Just the jollof rice with a brother of mine. But like, it felt weird, like strange.
Was it dry?
Yeah.
It wasn't that it
Saying
was dry.
something
It was
complete.
just like
Something complete.
yeah, it's like you because you've had this thing in your
It's,
thought
it's
that
something
you have
that
to,
needs to be
you
complemented
know,
with
even you have this
something
thing
else.
also where you eat the rice first and then you eat the meat for last and all that. So it's like all these kind of things and dynamics, bro. It's
I feel like
It's how we grow up.
jollof rice is complemented better with meat. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
is it?
No.
Okay, tell me.
You know, it's like,
So if you're stuck up in the island, somebody presents you jollof rice, no meat.
yo, it's
Would
like,
you
know
rather
what?
eat the
You know
jollof
what?
rice?
It's like trying
or-
to have sex with someone and then like they give you everything and then you can't.
yeah,
they don't
you can't
give you
just forget it.
And it's like, okay, like, you know, everybody's been to that in that situation. Like, you know, you get to that
Level.
to that point.
You can't have
okay,
it.
you're like, okay, let's get this shit up.
You become
No.
used to it. Like,
You're like, no, you can't have it. I'm like,
I think, yeah.
you know what I mean? So like, I think it is conditioning.
It's
to
all
be
it's all habit because I ate jollof fry a few times and there's no meat. You know, there was veggies on the side.
No.
and I got used
No,
to it.
you went through a change, a
But,
mental
yeah,
shift
change,
when it
yeah.
obviously with health. Like
Yeah.
talking about this is like for someone that hasn't been through that change.
Yeah.
Like if someone gave you jollof rice without meat,
Or
back then you'd
I
be
will
like-
flip. I will flip. I'm like, yo, what's this, man? This ain't complete, but like you said, it's
I actually have a good question. Back in Africa, do people eat bread, like bread a lot? Because I've noticed when I came here, I don't remember eating bread a lot back at home.
we eat very
we
Nigerian.
eat bread. There was bread, but our bread was
What kind of bread would it be?
It was
Because-
more the bread.
Shout out to Nigeria,
The
my
bread in Africa,
Nigerians.
the bread in Africa was a lot more sweet. Like I said, it's all flavor.
Yeah.
We have flavor in our bread. You could go on
Sweet
the street,
bread, that's
but
what
we
they
have
call it,
sweet
isn't it?
bread.
Sweet
You know what I
bread,
mean?
yeah.
But how when I first got here, I bought bread in Tesco and I'm like, what is this shit? Like, you know what I mean?
And it's sliced
it's
and
a
everything,
slice.
yeah,
You eat
yeah.
this shit. It's just
but-
dry shit.
But
you
the
know
problem
what I
is,
mean?
right? Okay, let's get in. Like, obviously, we're just talking about like general food.
Yeah.
But coming to health.
Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, coming to the healthy part of food. Like a lot of times, like even with, like I don't think Nigerian food, like we eat bread in Nigeria, right? And it's sweet. But bread is not like an indigenous thing that grew
For Africa.
Yeah.
for Africans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It does, and that's why like it has a backlash on our health.
You reckon?
Yeah, bread is
In
bad
what
for us.
sense?
Because we don't understand it.
It doesn't grow from our
Yeah.
soil.
Well,
So-
yeah, it does. It's wheat, like wheat.
Yeah, but-
wheat comes from
Yeah, but
the
you
ground.
know, bread. I think bread naturally is actually bad for you. Like it's not even
Because of
it's not-
starch.
It's a starch to
Yeah,
contain.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's not even healthy.
Well,
like.
obviously it's rumors, and I don't know if it's a myth, but I heard white bread and brown bread is different. I heard brown bread is actually, not that it's healthy, but it's healthier.
Yeah,
than
I
Yeah,
don't know.
white
You know what,
bread.
guys? For me, I think anything brown or white, it's not necessarily healthier.
Yeah.
But the problem is, right? I did a research on just food, and there was like this guy was saying like, food in its natural state
Yeah.
is what you need to be eating. Anything that is processed,
Yeah.
like even the slightest bit has gone from that natural state to a processed state. So it is bad for you. So the more processed the thing is,
You consume.
obviously the worse it is. So like someone was saying like, it's actually bad for you to like alcohol, like non-alcoholic
Yeah,
beer,
beverages,
right?
yeah.
Like it's almost like it costs them more to make non-alcoholic beer because they have to like make it with alcohol and then take the
Take the
alcohol
alcohol
from it
because they
like,
still need the taste of the alcohol.
Well, so they don't need
Yeah,
the taste
yeah.
of alcohol. So like it costs more and it's more processed. But people are trying to be like, I don't want alcohol in it, but like obviously it is still like an extra processed stuff. So the more things get processed, the worse it becomes for you. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So
That's
like,
true. I totally agree with that. Like you know what I mean.
But that's the way we live in now. Everything is
it's
processed.
processed, yeah.
Everything. You can't.
I mean, you go to the supermarket now. It's just
Like I genuinely considered turning vegetarian just to kind of get away from processed foods. Like, all right, some vegetables might be processed. Obviously, like they're like they want to say like some fruits are being mutated. Now they're being grown and they're being like edited, whatever. And especially if you go to America, I don't even want to go in there. All the food over there is processed. At least over here, like I went to Croatia, like the fruits, like an apple over there and an apple over here, the two different
Different
sizes,
things,
two
yeah.
different colors, they taste different.
Different,
You know,
yeah.
because they're grown fresh and they went straight from the farm to
it's
the
organic,
shop.
you mean,
You know,
like-
proper. Like, you know what I mean?
Let me hit you with some.
But yeah, go ahead, bro.
Say, we're in a country where, like, the poor people are actually fat. And that tells you, like, you know, like,
Another thing,
poor people-
hashtag facts.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
poor
Hashtag
people
facts.
are fat. And that shows you, like, that comes down to the food. Because the cheaper, like, obviously, they are going for the cheaper food. And the cheaper food is what?
It's
full
more.
of
It's,
shite.
it's full of shit. That's the way,
Exactly.
because to eat good is expensive, and to you know what I mean. And if you gotta eat some shitty food out there, you know what I mean, it's cheaper because that's the way they get you. That's the way they control you. You go to supermarket these days, you got every processed food, GMOs,
GMOs, yeah.
everything. Like my brother there was talking about fruits. You get it? Like you go to Lidl, have you ever popped a Lidl and opened the orange? There's no seeds inside it.
Yeah.
I mean, what orange doesn't produce seeds? You get it? This shows how they are speeding up the growth of this stuff. You
It's
get,
sweet, though.
But it's sweet. It's sweet. It's sweet. But it's sweet. But you have kales. You have, bro. I'm getting avocado from. You know what I mean? Even what I'm trying to stress is even with the fact that you have to eat fruit. Even some fruits are not even good for you anymore because they're so processed to the point like they've taken away that natural state of the way the fruit should be grown.
Yeah.
Now they're just speeding these things up and just selling it. And you going out there, oh, I'm buying fruit, I'm staying healthy. But that's why we have to go back to being healthy.
So
You
that's
want
my
to stay
question.
organic?
How do you get away from processed foods? In
That's why
society that we live in?
this is where organic comes in. You know, but I could go back to that. People say, oh, but some people just say organic. They just use that to say it's a lot healthier than this.
Yeah.
But if you, I went through a process of not eating meat for maybe even more than 3 months, maybe 4 months.
And how did you do that?
Bro, it was just all down to the fact that my friend, he's probably here right now, came through my house and said, yo, I stopped eating meat, 21 days challenge. I'm like, oh, how? I couldn't imagine you even going without meat, you get it? So I kind of just tried it. I've always wanted to, but it was just this thing in my mind, you need meat, blah, blah. So anyway, I went for it, past 21 days. Oh, shit, this is easy. Past 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months.
So can I ask you, what were you eating then? What did you replace meat with?
Well, I just eat like plant-based. I was just eating plant. I just forget about me. Obviously, I was a point after I reached the mark of 2 months. I was just strictly on a plant-based. All I'm just eating is veg, greens. You get it? I just really just disciplined my mind to stay away from meat.
Did you feel a change in your body in doing that?
Well, I'll tell you one thing I feel though. When I go to the toilet and take a shit. This green. You know what I mean? Well, I'll tell you, this is when you know what you put inside you. Like this is weird stuff, but when you study what comes off your body when you come out with you go to the toilet, you will notice, you will see how if you're eating clean or bad.
Yeah.
When I wasn't eating beef, when I go to the toilet, bro, we get to a point like, this is weird. My shit don't even fucking smell, bro. Bro, I'm being honest, man. My shit don't even fucking smell. Like, this shit just pops out.
Sure, it's not just you.
Yo, bro.
Let me walk in there and
Yo.
just, you know.
Yo, this shit just comes like it's just like when you there, like you come out, you take a shit, you just feel like, you know, when you go to the toilet, you feel that everything have to. I don't know how. I don't know that everything just because what was coming off my body was taking everything in, every nutrient.
Literally all the nutrients,
in.
yeah.
So whatever that was just coming out was just whatever was coming out. You get it? But meanwhile, when I was
It's basically just waste.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I was, but people say, but what's the difference? Yeah, energy level is good because, you know, sometimes when you eat carbs or this food, you ever eat pasta, you just eat and you just feel heavy.
Yeah.
And you
It's
drop.
you're just getting it into you to feel something in your
Because your
stomach.
body, it's a lot of weight to, it takes your body is finding it hard to digest because it's so heavy. So that's one thing I know. You eat some food, your energy level just change. You know what I mean? You feel sometimes cranky, moody, sleepy, all these feelings.
You feel like a python. I just had a meal.
Yeah, you know that kind of like I just want
That's
to.
perfect.
But then when I was eating all this, I didn't feel that. I finished it, bro. My energy level is just, you know, it's and I was.
Maybe I should do that.
You know what I mean?
Do you know
Because
what?
feel-
I did it for 6 months.
What?
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing
Yo,
that for
but-
a month.
No, like I did like strictly like just I caught everything and like strictly vegan for like
Vegan, not even vegetarian.
No,
vegan.
That's how I went as well.
I
Vegan
was
as
going to
well.
ask actually, what about eggs and like?
No, you can still, you can. It depends.
Well, some people go pescatarian, some people go
no,
vegetarian.
you know what? I did
Yeah.
vegan, right? I did vegan for like 3 months. That shit didn't work for me. So I was like, okay, let me get
It's not
some
for
eggs.
everybody,
So
man.
I introduced like fish
Yeah.
and eggs. So I stuck with
So
that.
yeah, you're a pescatarian. Yeah.
Yeah, pescatarian. But like that really works for me. But for me,
I did as well
For
after
me,
3
what I really found was almost a mental shift. You know what I mean? Like I was more focused and like and I didn't. That's true as well. Like your shit don't smell. Like literally,
man, bro. Your inside
like,
is
it's-
clean.
yeah.
Like what's coming off your body is just.
But like, and you know that heaviness, like you know when you eat like carbs and protein together, like I think your girl was saying that like
It's kind of like when she used to tell me this, I used to be like, "Girl, you crazy," you know what I mean? But then I tried. I was like, "Oh,
but think
What's
of
this that you're talking
but,
about?
but
It's-
think
it's
about
real,
it. Like,
like,
think about it.
When people go to the gym and they're trying to buff up, that's
Yeah.
what they do. They eat chips and fish, or chips and chicken, or chips, veg, and chicken.
Yeah.
They mix all those things together where you're actually supposed to eat them separately.
Yeah.
You know, or not separate, but you're not supposed to mix them in one meal.
But
you
then,
know what I'm saying?
yeah, but you see, the thing about all these people that go to gym as well is that people not aware. People just have a knowledge of, I want to go to gym, I want to pump weight, I want to build
Wanna get
muscles.
buff, yeah.
You know what I mean? All this comes down to diet, you know, nutrition. But like you said, it's not eating chips. These are bad foods to gain weight because
But potatoes is what
it's kind of like when you're trying to put on weight, you have to worry about your fat, obviously, you know what I mean? And the saturated fats, you get it?
Yeah.
These are what's good for you, you know what I mean? There's
Good calories and
good
bad calories.
There's good calories and bad calories. Like now when you know what I did, yeah? Now when I'm eating my sweet potato, bro, I don't even cook my sweet potatoes anymore. I eat that shit raw.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could eat sweet
Yeah,
potato.
bro.
raw.
You never
course.
try this shit. It's sweet. Let me give you a tip. Get on tonight if you ever try this. Slice your sweet potato. Get sesame seed, yeah? Sesame seed.
Sesame
Yeah.
seeds.
High in protein. Just sprinkle that shit with it. Get some coconut oil and just mix it. Put that shit on the plate. Crack it, bro. Or if you just wanna cook it a bit, put your frying pan on the cooker. Just get a little coconut oil. Let it get warm a bit. Put your sesame seed.
So do you
Alright?
strictly use coconut oil?
Strictly coconut oil or olive oil? That's what I use.
You know what? Even
That's
like,
it.
and this is what we're saying. Like what I was saying as well. Like think about it. Every time you cook, what are you doing? You're processing your food.
Yeah.
So like
Again, so you're
again,
even processing it.
so like everything. Think about it. Like dude,
Yeah.
like this is like evolutionary terms. Like we're using like this is like something that's happened like for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And we only changing all of these kind of changes is only coming in the last 200 years. So like literally, back in them days, people used to just boom, boom, cut. So that's why like
No
I would-
preservation of that.
no
shit,
preservation or
yeah.
no nothing. But obviously, like they figure out like spices and all of this, you know, like eventually, like all of this started coming in. But like
But where preserving food came from is obviously if you're importing the food from a different source of land,
Yeah.
and you're bringing it to a different land, the time frame of doing that, it might take you 3 days. So if you get fish from Croatia and you're bringing it to Ireland, obviously the longer the fish stays out of the water, the more it
Oh, it's
becomes.
yeah,
you know what I'm
it's-
saying?
it's
So
not-
you
yeah.
have to kind of put preservatives. Obviously, it's not good for us.
so why are they putting preservative in food that they make in Ireland?
Because it's being imported from a different
yeah.
place.
You see, first of all, for me, the way I look at it is kind of like preservation. Naturally, it's a bad way because it's chemicals you're adding to preserve something. It's like something that's already it's going off, but I'm gonna put something to delay that process. So because you're shipping from A to B, it's gonna take about 3-4 days.
Yeah.
And when it gets there 3-4 days, it's probably
already-
and you already put an expiring date on it. You know what I mean? It's processed, you know what I mean? You shouldn't, it's all part of how they try to keep something longer, but we shouldn't be,
But that's what I'm saying. We
sending-
should be eating
in-
things that are already
When-
here.
That's what I'm saying, that's what I'm getting at, bro. We should be eating like,
and that's why
Cook-
that's why you should really cook fresh most of the
cook
time.
your food fresh, don't go to supermarket and buy all this.
But the thing about supermarket is obviously about change in your pocket. Like,
Yeah.
when people are broke, what are they gonna do? They're gonna go to supermarket because they know it's cheaper. Like, man, what I've noticed is here, fruits cost more than actual like an apple will cost more than a chocolate bar.
Okay.
I don't know about that. Though. Is that true?
No, man.
Because
Now that I've
realistically,
said
when
that
you
to you,
think
you're
about
gonna
it,
notice it.
no, when
I'm
you think
telling you
about it,
now.
right? For example, if you get a Kinder Bueno, it's 150 or like what 150.
Ah,
for a
150,
Kinder-
160,
Or Snickers
yeah,
bar,
yeah.
150. And if you want to get a packet of like 6 apples, for example, it's not going to be more than 150. It's
Oh,
maybe
man.
max €2.
Man, I went to
maybe.
Spar.
I went to Spar. I
and
went
got
to
a-
get an
and
apple. An apple was
about-
90 cents.
like,
There
about
was a
you
chocolate
like-
bar there that was like,
That's in like Spar. So what about like Lidl, for example?
A little bit cheaper there.
you
Yeah, a
know,
bit cheaper
so
because
I
yeah.
think it comes down to your ethos.
but still a
like, you know what I mean?
supermarket.
Like,
You know
what-
what I'm saying? Like,
okay, think about it. It comes down to what makes what you value the most. It comes down to your value. So like if you don't want to microwave food, you get rid of the microwave, then you don't have to deal with it. You know what I mean? If the microwave is there, you will always have the temptation to do that. So if you're really about your health, you will make the right choices.
Bro, I might cut you off there for a second. Now, this is crazy. I personally, I don't use microwave in my house anymore. I stopped using microwave 2 years ago. And people are like, why you don't use microwave? Because microwave has a high radiation in your
my
food.
mom always says this to me.
You
She's
get
like,
it.
cover your food when
Yeah,
you're putting
it's
things in the microwave.
fucking full of radiation. So when you get your food, that pizza, through in the microwave, you warming that shit. The radiation coming off that microwave, it's going straight into your food. Bro, microwave, if you don't know out there, do your research about microwave. You shouldn't even be using microwave in your house.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? If you want to get your food,
Put it in the oven.
put
in the
bro,
cooker.
put it in the cooker. Cook it like in the fire. You get it? Don't put
You can't really cook
like
pizza on a fryer.
no, like whatever food, whatever. But obviously the pizza you can warm it up in the
Yeah,
oven.
in the oven, yeah.
You got that rice, put it on a cooker, mix it up, cook it there. But microwave is out there, like it's called one of the radiation that shit produces is crazy. And on your food, it's very bad.
Bad,
It's
bad.
I don't use it,
But
so
this is
but
what
I'm
I
not
said.
knocking. I'm not
Let's-
knocking people who use it up, but it's
No,
just
no,
it's
I
just an
do.
awareness out there.
Because my mom said this to me.
Let
like,
me
you need to
break it
cover
before
food.
we go into that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, go on.
Yeah, I was saying that was a great point because literally my mom just said this to me yesterday. I was putting, I think it was hot dogs in
Yeah.
the microwave, and she says, "Oh, you never cover your food." And like, I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "Oh, just because like she said, radiation
yeah.
or it's not good for that heat to go into
Yeah.
your food." And I just had an epiphany. I was like, if that's so bad, if the microwave is so bad to use in the first place, why do we have it? Like, why do we have it in the first place? You know,
When they introduced it, obviously
Yeah.
they didn't know, like it was a quick fix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but they haven't done the research.
Yeah.
So
The
they just threw it out
thing
there.
where microwave came
I'm sure
from
they
is
did
for
research. They
people,
fucking knew.
for
Yeah.
people that
Whoever
work
made
late and don't have wives and don't have
It's like
husbands.
pro and con.
They just
Yeah.
get a pre-ready meal
May a
and they
process
put it in
food
the
and just
microwave
cook it
and
real
just
quick.
cook it.
But imagine now, bro, you go into a supermarket, you buy that processed food, put it into the microwave, and that radiation now is going. Bro, you in poison, man. And you don't even
fucking-
realize. So you in poison
On
upon
top of
poison.
I think one of the important things about what we're talking about right now is like literally how to reach this good healthy food to these
Yeah.
people, because like at the end of the day it's like, where do you get all your knowledge from? Like
Yeah.
how do you know all these things, and
Yeah, who's
on a
who's
regular
teaching
basis
you all
too,
this?
because like
Yeah.
every day you need to kind of be fed this information
Oh,
to
man.
really live that lifestyle in a sense. So
But I
it's
think-
like,
But you also have to implement it yourself. It's
Yeah.
one thing being
Yeah.
told,
Yeah.
but it's one thing doing it yourself.
Self as well,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
people know in the
But think about it, right? Say, okay, do you know there are like 80,000 species of edible plants that you can consume? But yet, when someone tells you, like, don't eat meat, you're like, what else am I going to eat?
yeah.
How many meats do we have that we actually eat? And these meats were introduced. Chicken wasn't like, nobody used to eat chicken.
Yeah.
Back in the days, Americans introduced chicken, like, based on the population growth, right? Cows, yes, we've always had cows, like, like,
Cows are for stocks,
yeah,
like,
stocks, right? But chicken was
back in the
not
days.
a thing. So like, and obviously like, when they introduced this other fucking swollen ass chicken, you know what I mean? That was a,
turkey, the swollen chicken.
there's like, them African chicken that runs.
Turkey.
yeah.
No, there's chicken, there's
Yeah.
organic chicken, and there's
Yeah.
like fucking, there's fucking like bread chicken. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So like all those things were introduced, like, but a lot of things like we have to kind of like look into like just cancel everything out when it comes to what we know about food, and then go on actual
own basis,
search
yeah.
But again, we don't even listen to our body, because every time you eat carbs and what you call it and meat, what do you feel lazy naturally. Has anybody ever been to this kind of situation when you walk in, right, and you go for lunch break, and then you come back and you feel sleepy.
One thing that I'm taking from you that like a massive point that you brought out is like you have to strip yourself.
Strip
You
it
have to
down.
strip yourself first.
Yeah.
Get
then
rid of
start
everything.
getting what fits you.
That's it. That's
like-
it, bro.
that's a big
That's
mistake. I never thought of it like that,
that's
you
the
know what
journey. That's when when you come to terms with yourself. Like, you know what, whatever my mom, my dad, they taught me.
opinions.
That's something
Yeah, yeah.
what
That's
they've
their
been
opinions,
taught.
exactly.
Now I need to find something. I need to change that condition. You know what I mean? Because if you're gonna have a kid someday, you're gonna pass on whatever, you know, and that's what they're gonna pick. So it's kind of like you are living. I'm not disrespecting what you taught me.
Checking
You
that-
know what I mean?
changing that legacy.
But I'm just kind of trying to find what
What's
works
best for
for me,
myself,
not just, oh yeah, the same way they do, I'm just gonna follow that way. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, it's a discipline, bro.
But you have to look at it like, you have to
know what I
look at like, obviously, the result
Yeah.
from them and be like, okay, this shit ain't working. Like, you know what I mean? You know?
You know what I mean? That part of the young
Like,
man, look
my
at
mom
it.
as well. Bro, I passed this shit on to my mom, and my mom lost weight, and like even like she's drinking water. She caught like a lot of meat out, just fish a lot. But like she taught me. But like what I just kind of advised her. She doesn't. I thought she just wouldn't like brush me off.
Because they don't know themselves, like,
But she
you know.
went through like obviously like she put on a lot of weight. She went through a certain part as well. But luckily, a pastor
Some knowledge. Yeah.
that a pastor was like saying that to her as well. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So like,
pastor was saying it to her.
so like she's hearing it from me, and then the pastor saying
Yeah.
it. She changed it. She made it. She goes for a walk. I never thought of my mom. Like my mom is a hustler, yo.
Yeah, it's
Like,
Africa, mom going for
Do you know what I mean? Like my mom is like, okay, all I gotta go is like my shop. I'm home, church.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Maybe party every other Saturdays, but like she actually goes for a walk.
Yeah.
And that was something like for me, it was a big thing for me. Like I was like,
Oh,
I was able to reach my mom. Thank God for the pastor. You know what I mean?
That's one thing though. I think that obviously it leads into food and everything. But I've noticed that my mom, I don't know about your moms, but I guess it's an African thing.
Yeah,
Like what they do is like when they eat, they like to eat in the company of the family, and then after they eat, everybody goes off and does their own things. Like they don't stay in one place. I always told my mom like she tried to get me into sports. That's cool, but why don't you try to get yourself into sports?
sport, yes.
You know what I mean? It's cool for you trying to get me into sport. Why don't you try to keep
Something
yourself
active
up?
anyway,
You know what I'm
something
saying? Like,
But I think a lot of when it comes to this situation, we really like obviously like there are so many. We even not just African community, most communities like we really need to like you know talk about things that exactly affecting us as a community.
Directly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Directly, because one thing, our moms, and I think even for us, like a lot of like you know like African parents are obese, they're overweight.
Awesome.
Do you know what I mean? But and it's not something that here obviously like the food is even worse here. You know, in Africa, like you know, you eat carbs and then the carbs falls off you, plus the sun. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, man.
But like you know, we really need to like we have to go through that journey ourselves. But for us to like understand that journey, like before we pass that journey, like that message on, we have to understand it. Because like how can you understand something, you know, like that you haven't questioned?
Yeah,
that's
that's
the thing
true.
though. You need to question everything.
Yeah, so once you start like question everything and then pull yourself through it, because it's like I never understood my body till I cut out
yourself,
some certain things, and then when I cut out meat and I was just eating like plants and eggs and fish.
making shakes
I
and some of this
felt
stuff.
the difference. I was like, because like I never felt that way ever in my life. Like think about that. I never felt that way ever in my life, and not my body has
So now
never
do
felt
you
that
eat
way.
meat?
I still eat meat, but like I don't eat as much.
Not as much.
But think about it, like, has there been any point in your life that meat has never been in your system? Have you?
That's a deep question,
For a
I
long time.
genuinely have to think about that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Have
mean?
you
But, like,
ever go?
But you haven't felt that. Your body hasn't felt
Felt
that.
that.
Because our body is separate from us. Our body is a living thing on its own. Do you know what I mean? So like for you, but you have a relationship with your body. Your conscious, you can only experience this universe
through your body.
through this body, like we carry. So there's a separation between there's a like
Spiritual, mental,
Yeah.
no, your consciousness, you know what I mean? Your consciousness and your body. So you are just a vessel, I would, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
You're a vessel, like, you know, you're just driving this body, but this body has a like consciousness of
Complete
its own.
mind of its own,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So like, has your body ever felt any time, any point, like without meat inside of it? for you, anyways?
Me personally,
For
I
a
can
long
say
time.
no.
So exactly. So like you haven't felt that, you haven't experienced what it feels like just having, obviously, just plants and not meat instead
Just
of
not
You
eating meat,
know what I mean?
yeah.
So that's a whole different thing. For me, when I felt that, like there was a direct shift in my thinking.
Yeah.
I was able to think clearer, and because plus I was doing fasting as well, and that's a whole different topic.
Yeah, yeah.
But do you know what I mean? But like there was a switch, mental switch for me. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of us, like, for you to switch that, you really have to go through that yourself. You have to go through that journey yourself.
It's a lot
because
of-
it's
yeah.
life changing for
It's a
me.
life- yeah.
For me, it's the best thing I ever did. And I'm not saying
reckon?
don't eat meat. For me,
Bro,
in my
it's-
Personally, you think that was the
Bro,
best?
Bro, it's kind of like it's a personal.
Wow, you guys are changing my
Bro,
mentality.
it's a personal
No,
achievement.
I appreciate
Yeah.
what you're saying. That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
I'm shocked because you're speaking with passion, and
Yeah.
I believe what you're saying.
for me, I'm telling you, I did this, like 2-3 years ago. I've done a lot of things in my life, and changing my food, as intangible as it seems, is the best thing I ever done.
You know,
Because
what's funny,
I've considered it. Like I said, I've considered going vegan. I've considered going, but I clinged on to meat too much because at home, my mom loves to cook meat.
Yeah.
With my friends eat meat. I'm surrounded by meat all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. That's
True.
real. That's
It's
real.
hard. It's hard to cook meat.
South
when
African
you-
brother right here,
Yeah.
like that sausage. You know that sausage you guys eat? Essay. You know that sausage, that round thing, like that span. That thing is like
that's
that's
true.
what I'm saying.
That's
Like,
true.
how am I supposed to cook meat when I come home and there's literally
know,
meat
bro.
already
this
there?
is where you're talking
Mental.
about the.
That's a mental.
It's a mental
that's-
thing,
that's
yeah.
even-
It's a mental
because
thing, man.
for me, right, I think it was a mental challenge that shifted my mind into other
Yeah,
extremes.
yeah.
It brought me into fasting. It brought me into cold showers. It brought me into like myself.
You know what's funny? I'm actually borderline. I'm like right where I am right now is like borderline. Like I've been trying for like not trying, but I just haven't.
You've been considering
asserted
it,
myself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like I've been kind of slowly. That's why what you guys said about like stripping yourself.
Yeah.
Because I've been like instead of stripping myself, I've been like trying to kind of shed it
Shed
off.
a little
You
bit.
know what I mean? Whereas I should just be like.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
each to their own. It's about how you
it
do
takes
it.
time.
It takes time.
It takes time, but when that time comes, you would know.
You will feel it, bro.
You know what I mean? You will know.
Nobody will tell you, like. You
But
know.
for me as well, like obviously, like I think I was going through a bad patch as well, and I just needed a shift. You know what I mean? But like, and I went to a point where like I was quite down, and I was like, okay, like it can't get worse than this. Let me discipline. But I think everything in life comes down to discipline, and again, like I said, the discipline for a black man. If you can conquer meat, you can conquer the world.
Anything.
Huge. That's like the quote of the podcast.
You're making me want to test myself.
Yeah, bro.
It's
No, bro.
very
Think
deep.
about
It's
okay.
very deep.
Is there anything
I
else?
give you-
For
I-
me, that was chicken for me. Oh man.
It was hard. It was hard to give. I give you this, bro. To do a change.
I don't know how. I'm thinking about it right now.
And I'm chicken wings and everything. Yeah, I know.
Go get me some.
Yeah, bro.
Literally after this podcast,
No. You know, I'll tell you something. You probably try and then you fail. But when the time comes, everything's all about
But you
time.
see, you're on the right shift, bro.
because I'm considering
Because
it.
once
Yeah,
you
I'm
consider it,
open
that's
to
the
it,
most
yeah.
You know what I mean?
important
So that's already something in you is trying to shift. But obviously,
Yeah, I
you
need
know,
to be.
you
I
still-
need a little push.
you just
you know
need,
what I mean?
you, that's why the time will come. You just feel like, you know what?
Like I feel like I've been
I gotta-
close. Like if you said this to me 2-3 years ago, I would have listened to it, but I wouldn't have taken anything.
Anything.
you said.
Something-
But
Yeah.
the major key itself is like the thought of it is the most important thing. Because there was a time that I never, like even the thought isn't even in my rib
Sauna.
or any sauna anywhere around me. You know what I mean?
But that's crazy though, because you know, like now for me, like if you know, we talk about like obviously we're talking about food, Africans and generally.
It's
you
not
know?
just African
It's just
food,
it's just
bro.
general. It's just
Everywhere.
European food, whatever. For me, let's all bring it out to like just giving people more awareness of
What they're putting into their
what you
bodies.
should be putting into your body. Like if your body is your own temple, and this is what makes
treat it
you.
like that,
You gotta respect this, and this is what you have to treat right. So. Nobody, like, I'm not saying nobody not to eat meat. Like, somebody's, what's the best diet? Vegan, vegetarian, if you want to eat meat. Like, I'm not saying there's a best way, this is the best way to go, but I think there's this part of the line where you kind of have to know, where you shouldn't go and where you should be. You know what I mean?
Know your
when it
body.
know your body, Know the type of stuff you put in your body. There's so many, and don't be too caught up in that mentality of I can't drop this food. You know what I mean? Like when you talk about when you stop eating meat, I stop as well. Man, I shifted as well to the point like I went to discover more food that was out there. I never even thought if I never stopped eating meat in the first place. And that kind of, so I could even make this, I could make that. So it kind of just, because when you eat the same stuff all over again, it's kind of like you're looping. It's
And
just
your body's
monotony.
like, I'm sure your body's like,
Your body
this
is
nigga.
taking the same monotony.
This nigga.
So your body is getting used to
Give me something new.
Give me something new. So, and you want to feed your body something new. So, like, now for me, I'll bring it down like, okay, cool, let's talk about weight loss because we're talking about health, you know?
Yeah.
There's people out there who wants to lose weight. There's people out there who wants to gain weight. Man wants to gain muscle. Women wants to lose weight. You know what I mean? Some women wants to gain weight. So,
See, that's the thing as well. Some people think, oh, I need to go to the gym to lose weight, or I need to go to the gym to gain weight. Not necessarily true. If you put the right things into your body, you can just drop weight, or you can gain weight.
Is that true?
No, but I think when it comes to weight, it's all about calories in versus calories out.
Right.
So if you want to lose weight, then you have to take less calories than
Yeah,
your
but it
normal
also
sense.
depends on what you're eating. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if
But you have to be active. You have to be somewhat
Yeah,
active.
I'm not disputing that. But I'm saying if somebody's eating
Be careful. These
carbs
are
all day,
experts in the fitness industry now.
I'm cool. But that's what I'm saying. If somebody's eating carbs every day or whatever, and they're not exercising, obviously they're gonna put on weight.
Yeah, you're gonna
But
do
if
that,
somebody cuts down, they start eating plants, or they become vegetarian, and they're exercising, they're gonna see more results quicker than somebody that's eating carbs.
not necessarily now because
Maybe that's
not necessarily because
put me in my place.
no, bro, you are right. You are right.
extent.
There's no like, you are right to some, but it's not necessary because even being a vegan, like.
There's a junk food vegan.
No. Being a vegan, people say, "Oh, you're a vegan. That means that person is clean. You healthy." But I've seen fat vegans, and you're like, "Yo, you vegan. You shouldn't be fat." You know what I mean?
But they don't exercise.
And then being a vegan as well, there's actually a documentary I was watching. I didn't finish it, and it was talking about the risk of being a vegan as well. There's a risk involved because when
Your body's not getting
your body is
enough
not getting
iron.
some certain protein
that you get from meat. Yeah.
from meat, and your body lacks that, so you're gonna lose some weight, mass. It's gonna be hard. So there's some pros and cons to it as well, you know. But that's why I always bring it down to the point like there's no right way and there's no right. It's just you finding what way that works for you, like you say. You know what I mean? Making sure like. If you want to lose weight, your goal, then obviously you have to cut down the amount of calories you put into your body. You know what I mean? Increase the protein. Do you know what I mean? Or balance that shit out, whatever you gotta do. And if you want to gain weight, make sure the type of calories that's going into your body
It's good calories.
yeah, good calories. It's just not some I'm getting cheapers, I'm getting burgers.
A lot of people actually do that.
And-
Like, it's like because obviously
I
they
wanna-
can convert it to muscle.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean like you are healthy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like if you want to put on weight, you better start eating healthy protein or healthy because there's like also
You need like the food you want to eat basically it has a lot of fat in them. Like fat is good actually. People always say, oh, fat. You need saturated fat in your body because that's healthy fat. You know what I mean? So whatever food you want to, like that's what I mean when I cook food now. I'm cooking fried food. I use olive oil, coconut oil, even butter. Butter is good. Butter is
I'll
good
tell
for
you something,
It's
right?
called
Even
saturated fat.
again,
You
remember
get it?
what we're saying about
Yeah.
like when something is processed.
Yeah.
Because think about it, coconut oil is still processed. Olive oil is still processed.
Yeah.
Like so, like
Organic oil, then?
Well, but I'm just organic one.
Organic coconut oil.
yo,
And olive oil is better than sunflower, isn't it? And vegetable oil, right? I was gonna ask that earlier.
I don't use vegetable oils.
Yeah, but you see, but all of this is still processed. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you want to get to extremities of stuff, because like, people like,
But it's processed, but there's less risk on some things than others.
But I'll tell you something, right? There's nothing you can use with oil that water can't do.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, but you can't.
That's not true.
Yeah, but you can't fry a chicken with water.
That's not true.
You can't fry a chicken with water.
Yeah, but you can grill it.
Yeah, you can
And you
grill
will still
it.
give you that.
Alternatives.
Yeah, you can grill it. Yeah.
But the way you said it, I was like,
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, yo, you can't put that water in there. How am I just fry?
you tried to fry chips with water, man. Yeah, but
That's gonna cook, bro.
but in a sense, what I meant is like you can grill that.
Yeah,
But like it's like think about it. everything is anytime you cook anything, you still like you kind of.
But the thing is, you
switching
can't like. I've never tried to cook meat with water. I'm sure you could. Like you can boil. You can boil. You can boil it.
Like, you know, you can.
But it takes it's just a longer process.
boil
But
it,
I
can
think grilling is better because then you actually getting rid of all of the stuff.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, you know, like or cook whatever, like whatever.
Like what
But
stuff?
Like when you grill the food, actually, you know, it's a lot.
You gain a lot of
there's a lot
oil
of
and all this
you're
stuff.
extracting everything
Extra.
out of it. You know what I mean? So when you grill, because when you fry something, the oil is still in there.
No,
That's
what
extra
about
fat.
boiling?
Eh?
What about boiling?
But it's
Boiling, when you boil, it's okay,
It's okay.
because it's just water.
Boiling or grilling.
You know what I mean?
But the problem
But
is, like-
you don't want to eat. Some people don't want to eat.
But
You
I
want to
think
eat
the
boiled
problem with
chicken.
fried.
As long as it's seasoned and it tastes good.
Yeah, but you want to kind of like
Yeah, I
fry.
wanna
You
let
want to
it
get
fry,
that.
yeah.
You know,
I'd rather
I don't know.
But the
Everybody's
thing is, like,
different.
you know,
Like,
the
you know what I
problem
mean?
with frying is like you know, when you fry something, like it's like it's really, you know, the charcoal thing that you get from the pan.
Yeah, the dark.
That thing. So like all that stuff is like carcinogenic. Do you know what I mean? So like that's the damage. So
Yeah.
like you might as well be putting your stuff in the microwave. Do you know what I mean? When you fry it that way. Do you know what I mean?
Stay away from microwave, please. Now you said something.
That's one thing I'm gonna think.
And you
I'm
said
gonna do.
something
I'm
that
gonna cut off the
this is
microwave,
one
like,
thing that's
just-
stuck to my mind now, just when it comes to food and diet, you know. And people talk health issue actually, you know. Now we have food that people are actually not spreading, and I think it's important for us to know this because we black folks, it's only in the last few years black people have cancers and all this stuff like that, you know. You should always remember the food you eat are actually, like all this processed food, they are source of cancer as well. This are cancer, is it what cancerous? What's the word I'm looking for? Cancerous food. Yeah, cancerous. Yeah,
Carcinogenic.
that's all this processed food. They have a high level. If you constantly eating processed stuff, you have a high chance of having a cancer. You know what I mean? You're having this disease, having diabetics, having all type of. You know what I mean? Because everything that goes into your body is not right for your body, and obviously at some point your body is gonna
Give up on
it's gonna fight back. It's gonna reject some stuff, and this is what leads to I have a type B diabetics, I have a cancer, I have this, I have this, I have. It's all down. So that's why we're trying to get to people to be aware about the food you put into your body. Like, you know, we're not saying you shouldn't process food. If you're somebody out there that eat processed food, you need to cut that shit off. You know what I mean? Maybe find some other substitute. You know, maybe start cooking more. You get it? Experimenting your
That's the
cooking
thing.
your own food.
I'm getting sick of ordering and food and like I actually prefer to cook food because I'm putting love into
what
my
you're
own
making,
food.
and
Like, exactly.
you know where that sauce is coming from. You know the energy that's going. I'm buying the food from a pizza place or Chinese, but I don't know who's behind it, who's cooking it. I don't even know how they process it.
You don't even have to spell it
You
in
know
your
what I mean?
food, bro.
So you put all this in
shouldn't
your
say
body. Now, so it's just to get people to point. We should all start learning how to actually go into the store, making our own food, preparing it, know what you're putting into your body. You know what I mean? And just, you know, it's very simple, but it becomes something hard for people to do these days. You know, I don't.
It is.
You know,
It's
But
very-
think about
Think about the source and how. I think what it is that like for you breaking it down, you're talking about the source,
Yeah.
the process of how it from the roots to where to now to you.
Yeah.
So it's like you think about the process and then it's like okay,
clicks,
do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, but you think about it now, the way food is advertised as well. Like McDonald's, there's a McDonald's everywhere. The way McDonald's,
I don't- you know what?
They put millions into
Do you know,
advertising.
I don't even, you know what?
Do
Do
you
you
know
know
what I'm
something?
saying?
I don't even see McDonald's anymore.
Me too,
That's
man.
that's like the crazy thing. I don't see it. But before I used to see it everywhere. But think about it, right? Let's go back into the food, right? The importance of food. I said it's the most important thing that's ever happened to me ever, and I'm going to break it down for you because think about every disease, everything.
It's usually carried with food.
It's based on how you eat. Give me anything, like any sort of disease that comes out, because any sort of disease that anybody has, apart from like genetics,
Yeah.
like, you know, like
You carry a lot of fucking
like
disease,
anybody that has obesity, right?
Yeah.
Once you put on weight, that's just your body full of poison, and then all your body is saying is like, yo, gotta do something about this shit.
man.
Do you know what I mean?
Can't
Because
keep
like
living like this.
once you fat, like once you put on that weight, like you're gonna see high blood pressure. that
diabetic,
boom,
sugar
that's
level.
basically your body giving you warning
Your
signs.
body is just saying
Yeah.
like, yo, do something about this shit. And then like we people still say all this time, but they don't.
They
And then
still ignore it,
and then
that's the thing.
but it's so simple. It's just about based on like your daily habitual intake, your daily practices.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can conquer those things, the hardest part of your hardest the most temptation, which I find with black people anyways, is meat.
Yeah.
Maybe Irish could be potatoes. I don't know. But which is a good
But
thing
I think
anyway.
people generally struggle with meat.
With
man.
meat,
It's
in
with meat.
general.
So if you can
no,
switch
but I
that-
have to say I agree with him. Black people in general more struggle with
Meat.
cutting
Yeah,
meat.
so if you can like change your relationship with meat,
Yeah.
in like, you know what I mean, to be point that you don't rely on it. Do you know what I mean? Because it is a detrimental part of our health, in the sense of like, especially like meats are good when they're organic. You know what I mean? When, you know, like the skinny meat from Africa. You know what I mean? Those are proper meat. You know, but especially like because we know in Africa, you know what I mean, and everything here is being processed.
important,
And the worst processed food you can ever have is in the meat.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But that's
what are you
that's
saying?
where most diseases come from as well. They're all
Oh,
mostly
very
in the meat.
indecisive. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you
It's
go to
like-
Lidl, you see some of this meat, they're very red. And that's a dead meat. A dead fresh meat should be red. But how can a meat that's been sitting there for 4 weeks, still in there and
still
still
red.
fucking red like that? Now, bro, that tripped me out. And you know what? You know what? And it's crazy because when you take this meat out, yeah, you get home, you take this meat out, you leave it out in the cold. Just leave it there for
You'll see flies
for
that
one day.
lingering.
Leave it for about 6 hours and come back. The color will change straight away once you open the packs. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I was documenting. Some people say they do inject. You know, even
That's a
do
fact.
you know prawns?
I believe in
You know
that.
those prawns, the big shrimp you see. Bro, there's videos out there people they injecting this. That's where they get that little pump, you know, and you pour in all this. So
Man, I've seen
It's-
bird
it's-
videos of
it's-
people injecting
you know,
meat, injecting cows,
just
chicken,
to give
fish.
them that.
Cabbages.
Yeah, just to get that
You
extra
know what?
fresh
I'll
look.
say,
Bird videos.
at the end of the day, right?
it's-
Like we're fucked. You know, whatever we do, like, everybody's fucked. So the least you could do. You want to say something?
I want to say sorry. It's like, yeah, I think like it's how do you go about it though? Because like obviously what I was saying earlier was like, oh, I'm trying to strip things off. I got that. It's better to just start from clean and then get things that like is good for you. Do you know what I mean? So how do you advise people? Like what way should they go? Because I felt like I was going the right way. Like
Taking
letting
it
things
slowly
go,
by-
just slowly.
But maybe that does suit
I think-
you.
I think
and
that-
it
yeah.
depends on the lifestyle you
It's
live
a lot
as well.
deeper than just food. It's
Yeah,
a lot
it depends on
deeper
the
than just
lifestyle you
food.
live. If you're a gym head
it's
and you
food
go
is
to the
very
gym
different.
every day, it's gonna be much easier for you to strip whatever.
Okay,
But if you're somebody that works 45 hours a week or something and you don't have time, you get one break, it's gonna be much harder for you. Do you know what I mean? It's all about.
Okay, I'll tell you something. Right? Like you can make excuses for anything because you're a gym head. That doesn't necessarily mean you're eating clean. You know,
Yeah,
like
no,
people,
I'm not saying
most
that. I'm
people
just
like
saying-
most, especially most gym heads don't even eat clean because all they eat is chicken and broccoli.
gain
You know what I
weight.
mean? Just
Gains,
you know, like, you
man.
can't eat chicken and broccoli every day and then like you know like and be happy with yourself. Do you know what I
get
mean?
tired of that, bro.
As motherfuckers be like angry and shit, like get the fuck out.
it's
Anyways,
almost in the chicken
I would
too.
say it is just the most important thing is being aware of it and being prepared to make that change. The change is not going to come easy, but again, cutting some things out, you know what I mean, slowly and gradually, and then eventually, you know, like, and then you're going to figure out what works for you. But I think for me, anyways, the most challenging thing was the meat, and the meat didn't really, like, when I cut it out, it wasn't for me
there
to
wasn't a
become a
big
vegetarian.
difference.
It was just a mental discipline for me. And then once I was able to conquer that, like, it shifted a lot in me. And I think it was the battle of the meat because there was no, like, I could not picture myself eating jollof without
any type
meat.
of
So that's my question to you. Like you said, it was a mental battle of you not cutting meat. Once you got past that, did you feel like you can conquer other things? Because
Yes.
that was the most difficult
That was the
task.
hardest thing for me.
Okay. That's
So
good.
like, that brought me into because it brought me into like a whole variety of food that I never even imagined in my life.
Yeah, that's what
I can make like, you know, red stew with beans, and it tastes fucking amazing. We like
bro, I
kidney
proceed.
beans.
Yeah, I do a
Do you know what I
lot.
mean? Like, but it's like,
Experiment.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's 80,000 species of edible plants, including like, I didn't even know what like
We're
lentils
probably
was.
eating like maybe 3 of them.
Lentils, do you know what, do you know lentils?
I know lentils. I know
Yeah,
lentils.
like it's like a beans, but it's like kind of like more
like
like
white
yeah.
stuff like that.
But,
I know
but,
lentils.
but
It's like red beans, right? Yeah.
and then when I call it out anyways, it brought me to like a whole different variety of food, which is like even enrich my life, and I know how to cook it, and I can cook it for other people. So like I'm passing on the message to people because I think the most important thing for you anyways, if you want to work like in health wise, is what you consume. You know what I mean? Every day, because it's a daily habitual intake, and then eventually whatever, I think, like you said, you are what you eat. So like where you are right now has been everything that you've been consuming from till now. You know what I mean? I think we as humans, we grow on an everyday basis, and like our thoughts, the food which is our thoughts and what we eat, you know what I mean, are the things we have control over. Everything else we don't. And so it's like what's that thing like? You are what you think. You know what I mean?
What you think, you are what you eat. Yeah,
you are what you eat. So if we are that, and if that's the only thing we can control in this life,
And you
then
might as well do it, right?
then if we do it, I think it will bring us to a whole different like awareness
Different
about
perspective,
You know what I mean? Because everything else is being fucking bombarded. Facebook, Instagram, this, like this walk, this, you know what I mean? Nobody should be working 9 to 5. That's my perspective.
Definitely, yeah.
But like I'm saying,
That's a different
That's a whole different. No, that's a whole different topic, right? But this is like a lot of these simple basics, as simple as it is, takes you to a whole different level. You know what I mean? And then for me, that was like a life-changing thing for me. I don't know about you.
I know for a fact, I can feel myself that I'm on that verge of implementing that. It's just about me finding discipline within myself to put those things into play. You know what I mean? But I know it's not going to come easy, but like it just takes one step. As long as I know that I'm willing to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and
That's
I
the
know
most
that I'm
important
willing
thing.
to
For
do
me,
it.
that's the most important
It just, for me right now, it's just I just have to break that mental barrier of,
That's it, bro.
oh, I can do it. You know what I mean? Because I'm doubting myself, even though I know that I'm capable of it. You know, that's the only thing.
I think that when it's all about timing. When it comes, it comes. You know what I mean? But
will
like, for me, I didn't even. I never thought about it, and when it came, it was almost like a drastic thing, and I just went into it blinded. You know what I mean? And then I came out.
Maybe it's better like that.
Like it's all like you said, it's all
Maybe it's better like that.
mental. Like everything. It's just your own mental, and it's just your own self discovery of yourself. Obviously with food plays a lot in our emotion as well. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? And obviously emotion is what mostly carries us throughout our whole day. 1 minute you're like good, next minute you're like psh, that. So your food.
Well, you think about food in different cultures. For example, in Indian or Hindu cultures, they don't eat cows. You know what I'm saying?
Indian.
Yo, they don't eat cow, but they ship that shit to us.
But then you go to Islam, they don't eat pork.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the Western culture that eats all types of meat.
Well, it's just,
you know what I'm saying?
If you look at the Islam way, Islam is just down to religion.
That's
Why
religion.
they don't
That's what I'm
eat
saying.
Pork, But at the end of the day, if you don't eat pork, you eat beef, you eat lamb.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I said. There's different parts of the world that eat different kind of meat or different kind of whatever
Some
fish.
people
Or
are
different
even
kind.
eating snakes.
You know what?
You go to Australia.
I think let's bring it back, right? Let's clarify. Like, so obviously, this is not about not eating meat. This is not about promoting.
Yeah.
This is not about I think every diet has a role to play. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to figure out what works for your body. I have a friend that went vegan and then he just collapsed one day. You know what I mean? And with lack of iron, and he was in the hospital for a good while. You know what I mean? Before he even came out, and
Because he had no iron in his body.
like almost gone. You know what I mean?
Was he white?
Black guy.
Oh, because I was gonna ask. Because sometimes you can tell in the white people they go pale.
Yeah.
But with a black person, it's much harder to tell.
And even like there was a Polish guy as well, a friend of mine too. Like he's like an advocate for vegan. You know what I mean? And he loves like that's his life. It's switched, but he just didn't agree with him, and this is what he wants. You know what I mean? He advocated for vegan. Now, it's funny because he apologized like to vegan community. But like you know what I mean? But this is like it just like we have to really listen to our body and what works and what doesn't work. But I think, it's a crime. It's a travesty for someone to be eating the same thing over and over again, especially when it's not even nutritious for your body. You know what I mean? I went to a journey that actually I start paying attention to this beautiful vessel that I'm living in. You know what I mean? And that and that really like shift my, like, you know, that woke me up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was sleeping. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
bro, that's true.
That like almost
Yeah, but you can
purification.
also say the same thing.
It's
Because
a-
it took one moment, somebody came into your life,
Yeah.
or somebody came into your house, they made you do a challenge.
Oh, yeah.
You did that challenge, and that changed
That changed
perspective.
everything, I mean,
you know
like,
what I'm
you
saying?
know?
So just like this moment right here, literally, because I just came back from Spain. I told you I lost how many pounds because I was partying and whatever. And I'm coming back here. I feel like this was supposed to happen for me because of something I was considering here. And I wasn't even gonna come here. I was gonna go get a haircut. Coming here, having this conversation brought more into my life than going and getting a haircut.
that's dope,
Do you know
bro.
what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate
Like,
that, bro.
So that's what I'm saying.
When you're on the vibration, it starts ticking.
It's just, things just align.
But you see,
And
you're already thinking there, bro. So you're gonna find yourself. It's you're going towards your own journey, like,
Journey,
you know,
yeah.
consciousness journey. You know, you're waking slowly, and you're starting to figure
But
out.
I feel like you always need a little gentle push in the right direction.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm
That
saying?
little pat.
Because sometimes you're looking, but you're looking in the dark, and you see that one little glimmer of light, and that's where you go. Like, do you know what I mean?
I actually have, like, I think one really main, like, one big thing about all this that we're talking about too is that, like, because I had a friend who kind of got into, like, working out and stuff. She was kind of chubby, and she started working out because, I won't say because of me, but, like,
Or she felt a little bit insecure.
yeah, you know, and she started asking me, like, oh, like, do you have any advice? Because she thought, like, I was kind of, she sees myself and I'm kind of, like, slim and maybe
your tone
but
and
then,
your
like, yeah,
shape,
so
Genetics.
yeah, genetics. But I actually do try to take care of myself also. But then, like, I feel like one of the big things for her that I was telling her was, like, because, like, social media is a big thing in our lives now.
Yeah, that's
like,
true, yeah.
And I feel like you gotta kind of change those things also in a sense, a little bit. Because, like, for me, if I'm going on to all these things and I see, like, oh, like vegan, even though I'm not vegan, but I see like vegan dishes and they explain what's inside and what comes with it and stuff like that. Automatically, it's gonna be in my head. And I'll be thinking about it in the back of my head. You know what I mean? That's what I felt like that kind of.
Or you might swipe up.
Or I might swipe. But it's there subconsciously because you looked at it. You know what I mean? In a sense, it's like the little things we're talking about. You know, so.
It's always good to try things, you know. I mean, never hold yourself back from trying. 'Cause if
Yeah,
you
but
don't try,
there's like
you-
Facebook pages of, you know, Tasty. Does anybody know Tasty on
Yeah,
Facebook?
yeah.
They cook proper, like, healthy food. Like, I've saved so many of their videos. I've never cooked one of their dishes. Never.
But that's the thing, though.
And it's not like I don't have the ingredients back at home. I just don't have the I don't know, the
what time-
forethought
you know
to,
what?
like, take my phone out.
When you get to when that time comes, it comes. You know what I mean? And then you
But
start.
it will shift, man,
Yeah,
on
you
you,
sh-
man. You
because
won't even know
it's-
where the energy, you're like, what am I doing this for, man?
Yeah,
Like,
where-
you
yeah,
know,
I-
where is all this
But the fulfillment of
this thing
actually
coming
going
from?
through the long, the shortcut is there's no good in shortcut.
You just have to let it happen.
Yeah, the
naturally.
fulfillment, what you get from actually doing it, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's life. And it's like knowing that you make the right choice. Just like today, you were saying, like, you could have gone to the barber
Yeah,
shop, but
that
what
still
you
looks
got
fresh.
here-
It's cool.
you know what I mean? No, but in the sense of, like, you know what I mean, you could have taken, like, oh yeah, let's but I think, I suppose,
I've gained more from this experience
Yeah.
than going and getting the haircut.
and you're still gonna go get your haircut as well. you know what I'm
Exactly,
saying?
and you
So-
can get there and just talk to those boys, man. Yo, man, I got some, I can feed you,
Boys,
bro.
don't get your hair cut.
Let's talk about some real shit. But that's true, though. That's true.
But,
Like,
but
you know.
I think consciously, like, if like whatever I learn, I pass it on, like that changes.
That's what we all try to do,
That
isn't it?
changes
Yeah.
like dynamics of things.
learning,
but
like-
if we don't share, and that's the important of, like, you know, sharing and not
Voicing
being
your
like, you know, like,
opinions, yeah.
but like it's okay to be black and be vegan. Do you know what I mean? Because like motherfuckers be
Forget
like,
about being black, being
No,
African,
African,
and being,
being-
you know, being vegan.
because it's like
vegetarian.
think about it, like it's
You
like
know.
this fucking African and chicken that thing they put with
It's
with
like
with us.
literally, it's like connected
It's
with
like
our culture,
but,
isn't
but,
it? Yeah.
but that mentality is fucked. It's a fucked up mentality. But
Like, for me, I don't think this. Obviously, that's who we are. You know, it's hard to change that. You know what I mean?
Well, you know,
but no. But what I'm saying is, there's some people that's so conditioned to the point they don't even want to try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're putting that
were
thought. You're
all-
putting.
we
You're
were-
open.
We
But-
were all once like that.
Yeah, I was, but
I was
bro,
once
but
like
if
that.
I didn't work on myself, I'm probably gonna be one of like those African brothers who just want to be in that bubble. Like I don't even want to. Like we're talking about meat. Some people, I've been around some few African brothers or just African, and you talk about I don't eat meat. They're probably like, is this nigga okay? Like what you talking about? I don't eat meat. Like
conditioned.
you know what I mean? And this nigga, there's nothing you can say to them.
That can
That
change
wall
their
is so
mind, yeah.
there. Like that should just bounce back. They don't even take it in.
But you'd be surprised, bro. You'd be surprised what you say. Like, I'm telling you.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
Just
Like,
has
for
to
me,
be
it's
clean
like-
and proper.
To be honest, like, I only started like realizing that you can have vegetarian dishes only like recent enough because of like friends that I've been going to that eat these dishes. You know what I mean? So it's like, though it might not seem like it's piercing true, it really does. Like, so yeah.
No, I know. I'm not saying no African. So there's some brothers out there who are proper vegan.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You know, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying there are some brothers still around that they will
Stuck
just
in the bubble.
they will stop. Like you said, that's bubble. You know, like at least you're waking up. We're all waking up, and these brothers are still sleeping.
think-
They don't even want to acknowledge
acknowledge
what
it,
we're
yeah.
talking about. At least it's just something like you can. You know what? This makes sense. You know what I mean? Let me actually go back. Let me put a thought process to it and actually think about what this brother is
But
talking
you
about.
see,
Even I don't 100% agree with it, but let me put a thought process to it. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. You know, I'm not saying, you know, if somebody come up to you and tell me something, I'd be like,
Yeah, just because you don't agree with it doesn't mean you can't consider it.
consider and just put a thought process. Oh, that makes sense. Maybe you're learning. It's all learning process. So that's what we're just trying to feed out here. We are just having a nice conversation. You know,
Exactly, yeah.
whatever food you eat, food is your nutrition and is your intuition as well. So you have to think about those two. 'Cause if
We didn't even get to talk about the mind, like, you know, the mental part of
Oh,
food.
bro.
You know what I mean? But like, this is just based on, like, we spent the whole podcast talking about the physical element of food,
Yeah.
what you ingest, like, and then like, but like, there's a whole different mental part of food as well,
that
which is
comes-
based on your mindset, and that's a whole different topic. But those two things are very
They're connected
important,
in
and
some
they are
way.
connected.
Yeah.
It's like as mind and body. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like the mind is the body is the mind, in the sense
Mm-hmm.
of, you know, where we're going with this. So what you eat has a direct impact on your thoughts, and then what you think has a, you know,
Right,
like
the part on your body.
as
You know
well.
what I
So
mean?
like there's so, and that's, it's just, but if this podcast helps someone to actually think about it, you know, it's, you know, like it's something special. Do you know what I mean?
Well, like I said, I just came back from Spain. I definitely didn't think I was gonna be in this fucking environment. Fucking hell. But
And
here
then-
I am.
but
You know what
I
mean?
also,
appreciate
you know,
the fact that I'm here.
Bro, you know, people also got to understand that there's food out there you can actually eat. If your diet is right, that can actually heal you. You know what I mean? There's food that heals you genuinely. Like, you know, Dr. Sabi, you know, everybody have a...
Yeah.
Go study this brother, this alkaline food that you can... You know, this dude cure cancer, cure AIDS, cure sickle cells. Just
Based on food.
Just based on diet, bro.
Wow.
Diet, bro. Check him out. If you don't know Dr. Sabi, just...
What's his name?
Dr. Sabi.
Dr. Sabi.
Sabi. And
And I think everything was like,
It was just-
raw as well.
it was
Like,
just
based on
raw, it was just-
and it's not just Dr. Sebi. Like there are clinics. There are clinics. I know someone that's had cancer 3 times, but this shit is expensive though. But like, he goes there and they just strip everything, and
Bro,
everything
yeah.
you eat is just based plant and raw plant. Everything is
Bro,
raw
it's
food.
just raw, you know.
And then
you-
it literally changes.
It
It
changes
heals
your-
every cells in your body.
Like, you know, it's alkalines, you know, like alkaline foods. It's, like your body is a living cell, you have to put an alkaline food in there, and alkaline is what. So this brother really, like, that's what I'm trying to tell people. The food you put in your body can actually heal you, you know what I mean? Because,
Food is medicine.
you know what I mean? It's medicine at the same time as well, you know what I mean? And also you have to think about...
Food can either be medicine or poison.
Huh?
Alright,
That's it, you have to medicine or poison.
Amen to
You know
that.
what I mean? So
Legit.
whatever you put in there, be conscious
Is what
of
you're gonna get out.
It's what you get out of it, you know what I mean?
Because
So-
literally, you only get out what you put in. So.
Yeah.
So, but that's for today. That's just the physical aspect, and we got the mental part of it, which is you don't even want to go deep about
We're
that.
going to talk about the
But-
mental part another time, boy. Yeah. Thank you for listening, and thank you guys for coming through, man. I appreciate it.
Yo, my brother,
I mean,
it was a pleasure, man.
Great. Knowledge busting, the brain is just.
And we got the
ticking.
cameraman behind there.